Hey all, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of Boomstick. This is an external DAC for smartphones and MP3 players that claims to improve the audio quality for music and for watching movies. Now, when this thing first came out, it retailed for $100, which was quite expensive and made it niche, but now the price has significantly dropped. You can find it on Amazon for under $10, which makes the price seem very attractive. It's not necessarily an amplifier. It's not going to make the sound all the way, raised in terms of volume, but it will improve it in terms of, let's say, offering thumpier bass, having a more dynamic range, changing the sound signature of the music in hopefully a more detailed way, especially if you have high-res certified earphones or headphones. So it could be a very nice accessory, especially if you have, high-res audio tracks and you care about the audio quality in terms of your music, and you don't have a built-in DAC on your smartphone. This could be a very cool accessory to pick up now that the price is so much lower. So it plugs into a standard 3.5mm audio jack. It charges up using micro USB and takes about 14 hours, runs for 14 hours on a single charge. Now, if you guys remember, about a month ago we reviewed the Yang B100, which claims to be mobile theater headphones or 3D headphones. It basically has a built-in DAC into the earbuds. So this is kind of the external version of that transforms ordinary earbuds into something that gives you a more dynamic listening experience. And opening it up, we just have the Boomstick right on top, and lifting it up, we have the soft carrying pouch, which is a pretty cool accessory with a lanyard strap on the side, and then you can just pop that in to protect it along with a pair of earphones when you're traveling. There is a quick start guide / instruction manual that tells you how to connect everything together, 3.5mm into the Boomstick and then 3.5mm into the phone, and also it seems like there are indicator lights for when the bass boost is activated. So taking a look at the design of the Boomstick first, again, it's relatively portable, about the size as a kind of older MP3 player, something like the iPod Shuffle back in the day, and it's still very portable and compact and easy to take and slides into a pocket. The body here is made out of a piece of aluminum, so it feels very premium in the build. Boomcloud 360 is the manufacturer, and on the side here we just have what seems like a power switch, and then after it's turned on, I can tap on the key in the front there to activate the boom mode. And you can see there's an LED light as well, so if we dim the studio lights here, you can see it's illuminated, so you can tap and see it in the dark, and that turns it off, this turns it on, and this turns the entire thing completely off. On the side here, there's also the 3.5mm auxiliary input for your own headphones, and then the micro USB port for charging the Boomstick. One additional function I want to mention is when it's turned on, you can tap and hold on the key here to activate a extra bass boost mode. So this increases the lower frequency, and so if you're a bass head, this will definitely be the mode for you to try out. And if you don't want to use this enhanced mode, I can also long hold to deactivate it. The unit will remain on. Tapping it once more will turn it off. So if you have the bass boost mode on, you can also just turn it off. When you turn it on again, there's a memory in here that will save it onto the last preference that you were using, and so it keeps remaining on, as you can see there. So the claim here is it has what's called high frequency contouring, which quote-unquote adds definition and clarity to the audio content, bringing more detail out of the sound. Moving into performance, I tested out the Boomstick with several in-ear headphones and also over-ear headphones. In this video, we're going to demo it with the One More triple driver IEMs. As a whole, it definitely works. So when you plug it in, there's actually two things you have to do. First of all, you can turn it completely off, and it just plays the sound similar to what you would hear if you just plug the headphones directly into the phone. So it doesn't improve or detract from the audio experience, as you can hear. And if I pause it, again, it's very clean sounding. When you power it on, even if you aren't using the enhancement button or the bass boost button, it still plays at the same volume and has the same overall sound signature as you would hear from your own earphones. However, it adds a little bit of noise. In terms of audio quality, especially when you're listening to music and tracks, it definitely improves it. It makes it sound more three-dimensional. It makes it sound like you're in the live recording, and especially for bass, it definitely turns up the lower frequency. It actually vibrates, and it feels like the sound is going through your skull. So it's very impressive, especially on a pair of small earphones, that you get such powerful sound. And again, for regular smartphones that don't have a built-in DAC, there is a huge difference in the experience. With that being said, they're not necessarily going to make the audio quality really clean. So if you're a audiophile and you're looking for hi-fi, crystal clear sound across the board, then you won't necessarily find it with the Boomstick. In some ways, that is a little disappointing, considering that this was originally priced at $99 and advertised as an audiophile grade equipment. I'm going to turn everything off, and you can hear the quality coming out of these small kind of drivers of these earbuds. And now I'm going to turn it on. Turn it off again. So you can definitely hear that it changes the volume a little bit, but it's not really heavy or noticeable to a large extent. So instead of thinking of this as a dedicated amp, it's more of a built-in DAC that adjusts the kind of equalizer as well as sound signature and changes the sound in a way that enhances it and brings it to life a little bit more. Like I said, it's most prominent with the bass mode. So if we turn it on and switch on the bass mode and continue playing, you can hear how the volume is now even louder. Turn it off. So you can hear a even larger difference, especially when the bass boost mode is on. So like I said, especially if you're a fan of electronic music, if you're listening to classical music or watching movies, soundtracks that have a lot of dynamic moving elements, such as thrillers, action movies, and it really is worthwhile just for that experience alone. You'll be completely immersed in the sound. And the interesting thing, like I said, is it doesn't necessarily turn up the volume to an uncomfortable extent. It doesn't just turn up the volume. You can adjust the volume on your phone to get a similar decibel output, but it still doesn't produce the same amount of richness in the sound. Overall, I'd say that for the price that it's currently sitting at, it's definitely worthwhile just to pick up and kind of try for yourself. You're not going to necessarily be using this for every single track, for every single type of music out there, but for the majority of, let's say, pop music, watching movies on a phone or tablet, it really does enhance the effect. You can also connect it, of course, to a speaker if you want to enhance it that way, but remember that this has to be charged after about 15 hours of use. I found the weight and overall ergonomics to still be relatively comfortable. You can connect it to a phone. The phone can still fit into your pocket. It doesn't really detract from the cables. It's still, again, very lightweight, so no real issues there. The only thing, like I said, is the sound isn't going to be completely free of, let's say, a little bit of distortion or static, especially if you pause the music and you listen really closely, you'll be able to hear some of that kind of digital static. And you only get this effect gone when you turn the unit completely off, and then of course sound can still flow through as if you were plugging your own headphones directly into your phone or MP3 player. Even if you have this on and the boost button isn't activated, it will still produce a little bit of noise, and the noise is also going up a little bit when you turn on the bass boost, but it still enhances the overall audio quality enough that I would say that this slight nuance is negligible, and it's just a minor, I guess, critique. And again, as you're listening to more and more music with it, you will start to ignore it anyways. Again, it's a very immersive experience that I think is definitely worth the $7 or $8 that you can find this now online. So you can check out more details about the Boomstick, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This was a closer look at Boomstick, the Psychoacoustic digital amp for smartphones and MP3 players.